Our first referee, Joven Racelis, national referee. Our second referee is Angelo Howe, national referee. And now let's meet the starters. First, for Capital One Solar Energy. Outside spiker from the National University, number 10, team captain, Jorel Singh. Outside spiker from the University of St. LaSalle, number 12, Patty Orendain. Center from Adamson University, number 14, May Macatuno. Middle blocker from De La Salle University, number 15, Des Clemente. Middle blocker from the University of Perpetual Health System Delta, number 17, Shai Umandal. Opposite hitter from La Salle, number 19, Ruby Estrella. Starting libero from the University of Santo Tomas, number 18, RJ Rivera. Head coach for Capital One is Roger Graham. And now the starters for the Creamline Cool Smashers. Outside spiker from the Ateneo de Manila University, number 2, team captain, Eliza Valdez. Center from the Far Eastern University, number 1, Kyle Negrito. Middle blocker from the National University, number 5, Risa Sato. Middle blocker from the College of St. Benilde, number 6, Pangs Panaga. Opposite hitter from the University of the Philippines, number 18, Tots Carlos. Outside spiker from Adamson University, number 23, Gemma Galanza. Starting libero from FEU, number 11, Kyla Atienza. Head coach for Creamline is Sherwin Menezes. This game is held under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. It is Capital One versus Creamline.
We're here at the Smart Araneta Coliseum as we check out the starters of the Capital One Solar Spikers. Clemente, Estrella, Macatuno, Rivera, Orendain, Singh, Umandal, who actually last played back in March 5 with SGA. She did not see the court back in their last game as we check out the Cool Smashers. Sato, Carlos, Negrito, Atienza, Valdez, Galanza, and Panaga, the core of the girls in pink to start us off for today. Yani Mayu here along with Jamie La Victoria, Kyla Kingsu on the sidelines. Kyle Negrito will start us off. Now Capital One here still varying their starters.
They're still trying to find their groove, Yanni. I mean, prior to the start of PVL, they only had limited practice. And you see Coach Rogers still trying to find the perfect mix for Capital One. But when you look at the roster of Capital One, these are the vets from UAP, NCAA. So they know what it's like to play against good teams like this. It's just a matter of chemistry that's needed.
Exactly. Singh there with the coverage. Orendain will try with that attack. That's Carlos, cross court. Rivera will set. Estrella blocked by Creamline.
We have Panaga. Galanza also in the front row. Let's take a look at that replay. Perfect blocking formation, unison in that blocking form of the Creamline Cool Smashers. Also, fun fact, Yanni, May Macatuno of the Capital One Solar Energy was coached by Coach Sherwin Menezes back in Adamson. So, I mean, he was also her mentor.
Coach Sherwin Menezes was the head coach of Adamson Lady Falcons back in 2012 to 2016.
See Orendain going for her classic down the line, just touching the hands of Tots Carlos.
Capital One will get their first point here as Shai Umandal will serve. Negrito will set up Tots. Down the line.
That goes way outside. Carlos trying to avoid the hands of the block of Capital One, but a little overcooked in that rally.
2-all here. Umandal will continue to serve. Pangs Panaga. And that's good for the Cool Smashers.
I love how Negrito is stabilizing the middle blockers early on in this first set. Banaga with her running attack going down the line.
Three serving two. And up here to Patty. Ooh, but Tots Carlos though takes advantage of that one and will use this opportunity to go ahead to Kyla Kingsu.
Thanks so much, Yanni and Jamie. Now, you, along with some of our PVL fans, may be curious of what it was like for our defending champs to have to return to their drawing board. And they shared with me that they described it as quite a wake-up call, that anyone can take their crown away. Now, they were led by Gemma Galanza last Saturday, who shared with me that it was quite a weird feeling to not be able to control the game as per usual. In Gemma's words, nawala in communication on the court at kaya tuluyang nawala talaga kami sa sistema. And this isn't a normal thing for us. So we really took the time to debrief and discuss what each of us could have done to change that outcome. But as we all know, all streaks eventually come to an end. And with our newer squads really stepping up as contenders, Creamline faces heightened pressure to protect its championship title. Now, will we see the Creamline we all know back today? We'll have to see. Now, this report is brought to you by the Pilipinas Live app, where you can watch the exciting PVL action anytime and anywhere in the world. Download and subscribe now. Now, back to you, Yanni and Jamie.
Thank you, Kyla, for that report. Creamline has 5 All-Filipino Conference or Open Conference championships under their belt. We're excited to see as well if we'll see the Creamline that we know today.
Yes, the usual.
Exactly.
I mean, when they were up against the Cherry Tigo crossovers, they were definitely a challenge. I mean, they broke their 19-game winning streak. And I did mention this in the pregame, Yanni. There's no safety anymore here in the PVL. It's almost like no team can blink because you never know what can unfold with the level of play. It's elevated with the new teams, and a lot of the younger players are stepping up, especially the Cherry Tigo crossovers.
I like how you said that the level of play is elevated. As we go back to action here, the Lights of Valdez tried with that one, caught the net though.
See Valdez trying to go for that sharp cross court.
Because of that, Capital One will get their 5th point. Been neck and neck early here in set number 1. Orendain will serve. Negrito chooses Tots Carlos off the hands. They go to Sing this time. Coverage there by Creamline. Over and 2. Covered. Lisa will set Tots. And that awkward reception here in the side of Capital One will give Creamline another point.
See, the right pin is very much effective because of Tots Carlos, whether she is in the back row, she has that sharp arm swing, rather, going cross court, down the line, adding variation, being very creative in her attacks.
1 point lead with Creamline. Tots Carlos with a service ace.
Not only in her attacks, but as her service as well, targeting Patty Orendain in zone 1. Look at that. Slim margin, targeting zone 1.
Rivera will set to Jorel. Passes through the double block, and Capital One will get another point.
I remember seeing back in season 76 in the UAP, one of the former NU Bulldogs going cross court, also known for her down the line attacks. And, you know, I'm very happy to see these former players now playing in the pros in the PVL.
Tots Carlos will try.
Stepping with that back row attack. So with stepping, Yanni, your approach has to be behind the 10-foot line. If not, it is a spiking violation.
Clemente with the service, 7-all. Negrito to Valdez. Soft touch there. They go to Sing. Powers through the double block once again. And because of that, Capital One will bring us to our first technical timeout. 3-0 run so far. Now, Jamie, this is a young team, but you mentioned they're all full of veterans. What do you like that you're seeing on the court right now early on here in set one?
Well, I like the fact that it's a mix of veterans and also new players, because it shows that, you know, each player has their own type of experience.
Right.
And all the learnings, all the wins and losses. I mean, well, let's go back to this play. Ball goes outside on that be-quick attack.
Now, Creamline will get another point. So this is a medley of experience. The defending champions, of course, have a lot here in the PVL. But this Capital One team is a mix of, you know, back in collegiate times and in their own different clubs as well. Now, Eliza Valdez will gear up to serve.
Nice serve.
Over and two. They go to Valdez.
You know, that's the set that Eliza Valdez likes. Coming from the back row, not too high and not too low. You see that Kyle Negrito has mastered that perfect set to the back row. Eliza Valdez targeting Rivera in zone 5.
They go to Jarrell Singh. Down the line attack. Same place for Jarrell Singh.
I mentioned this earlier. This is her classic long ball down the line attack. Take a look at that pivot on her body, her swing, targeting that corner pocket of zone 1. And also, Yanni, I remember season 76, Jarrell Singh also did not even have knee pads on.
Ooh.
I was so impressed with the no knee pads, but she was able to read the defense quick. I mean, the athleticism is there.
Jarrell Singh will attack with that one. Now that attack is inside. Risa Sato to thank for Creamline's 10th point.
That's right, Risa Sato with this 8-quick attack. The set was actually a little bit too low given by Negrito, but we all know Risa Sato is able to adjust.
Risa Sato's first point as she served. Quick set and attack there. Coverage. Rivera, the set to Australia. Gemma Galanza. They go to Pangs Panaga in the middle. Negrito, Sato, and Tots Carlos. Blocked once again by Capital One. They send it over. Chance here for the girls in blue. Ooh. Jarrell Singh once again.
You see Coach Roger giving applause.
And this spike of the set is brought to you by Duncan, Pasalubong ng Bayan.
Already triple block guarding Jarrell Singh, but May Makatuno just running the offense smoothly. This is the vet moves coming from their setter.
But unfortunately, a service error for Singh. Creamline will lead by 1 point once again.
There's a lot of urgency on the side of Capital One. It's a privilege going up against, you know, the Creamline Cool Smashers. A lot of learnings will be coming into play, but you see, it's very neck and neck, Yanni.
Exactly.
10-11.
Orenda in. Unable to go through that block. That ricochets to a different side of the court as we check it out once again.
See that replay. Panaga blocking, but Jarrell Singh not ready for that coverage.
Creamline with this 2-point lead. Singh with the first ball. Ball still live. Eliza Valdez chased that one. They go to the pin, cross court. Orenda in will set. Singh, a chance ball to Creamline. Tots Carlos from the pipe.
Have a combination play on that counter attack.
So check it out.
Replay. Beautiful formation by Tots Carlos.
And that will trigger a timeout. Let's listen in.
Tapos nagulat ka, hindi mo hinabol eh. Diba? Pagtsagaan ninyo, hindi naman porket pa may pumapalo doon. papasok na yung palo niya. Kung papaluin niyo yung bola, paluin niyo. Sama niyo na lahat. Sama niyo buong mundo, mga barangay niyo. Huwag niyong i-half heart lang yung palo niyo. Kailangan dyan sa mga yan, paluan niyo ng todo. Pag nag-miss-receive, tatakbo sa open. Mas madali-daling depensa. Siya, tingnan mo yung kamay ng blocker. Kasabayan mo ng talon, tapos ilataas mo lang yung kamay. Tingnan mo kung saan kakabig. Kabulin mo, ha? Yo, mayos tayo.
Good news mga kapatid, napapanood na rin tayo ngayon sa pinakabagong free-to-air channel na talaga naman para sa Pinoy, ang RPTV. Tutok na sa Analog TV Channel 9, DTT Channel 19, at sa higit 300 cable at satellite providers nationwide at sa Signal Play. We just came off of that timeout from Capital1 Solar Spikers. Coach Roger with that specific advice for the team.
That's right, he's talking about the coverage for his squad. I mean, he's also mentioning your hard work and dedication. It has to be earned, right? All the points that are coming, it has to be earned, it has to be fought for. You can't just rely on the errors of your squad.
2-point lead, the Creamline on top. And thoughts Carlos will give them a cushion here.
Whether she's on the left pin or the right pin, Tots Carlos is one of the stable spikers here in the PVL, in this entire league. And she's just very efficient. And she's also not choosy with her sets that's given to her.
Reverse set to Rovi. Rivera with the cover. May goes to Patty.
But Panaga is certain that her block went inside.
And that will cue our first challenge of the day. Ball in, ball out challenge. So to recap, Tots and Pangs were there to block that attack. They think it landed inside the court.
But at the Patty, or in the end, was also very sure that it went outside. But from our perspective, Yanni, we actually can't see if it touched the line.
So we check it out in this replay.
Outside.
Gemma Galanza talking to Pangs.
Panaga scratching her head.
Yeah.
This is where the best acting comes into play.
Right. But at the end, we're going to find out the truth, though, when we have the challenges. Short-lived for Pangs Panaga, thinking that that was inside. They have one challenge left. Capital1 will get their 12th point. That one, though, sails outside.
And also, when you have these unforced errors, you are actually disrupting the rhythm of your own squad. These unforced errors need to be minimized.
Pangs Panaga, Creamline enjoying a 3-point lead here in the first set. Makatuno goes to Patty. Negrito underhand set. Orendain with the first ball. Rivera tried to get the second one. But unfortunately for them, that ball will not go through. Creamline at 16. And Switch now and get up to 3 months with no cash out. Visit www.signal.tv/switch for more details. Creamline up by 4 points. They brought us to our second technical timeout here, but Capital One not making it easy for the Cool Smashers.
That's right. You see they're still fighting it out. The scores only 4 points off.
Valdez, though, with an off-speed hit into the donut hole of the Solar Spikers.
Now, I remember watching the Cherry game. This worked with Valdez with her drop ball in that donut hole zone. Very deceiving. We all know her approach to be very explosive, but she's very good when it comes to changing it last second.
Orendain with that adjustment last minute. Was that a low set? But thankfully for her and Capital One, that reached the corner.
The set was actually not low. She also just didn't know where the direction of the set was actually going. But a point is a point.
Right. 13-17 now.
Nice serve.
They go to Tots. Down the line attack for Tots Carlos.
Rica Rivera was actually in the right position, ready for that down the line, but we all know Tots Carlos being very efficient in her attacks, seeing very late as well to that block. You just need more of that sidestep left from Singh.
Makatuno goes to Singh. Effective Jarrell Singh, especially in this side of the court.
That's right. Well, the left pin is her specialty. She does go down the line, but May Makatuno going for that reverse set, touching the hands of Risa Sato in that sequence. We have a double substitution here for the Creamline Cool Smashers. Michelle Gumabao and Mafe Galanza
comes into the court. It's a 4-point lead. That's Clemente to serve. Eliza Valdez with that first ball over Steve. Jorel Singh saw that coming.
Jorel Singh being effective here at the net. Over receive as well coming from Valdez. And we see Capital One taking advantage of these plays.
Another service error, and this is what you mentioned a while ago, Jamie, that they have to lessen this, especially going up against the more experienced team in terms of chemistry, in terms of being together.
That's right. We all know the Creamline Cool Smashers is a team that is very tightly knit. They are a team that's been establishing their chemistry since day one, but Capital One, they are doing a great job. It's just they're committing too many unforced errors in this first set.
Gemma Galanza gets a point off of that cross-court attack. It's 20-15, and Capital One will call a timeout.
Dapat alam niyo rin yung depensang gagawin niyo sa ganung sitwasyon. Ikaw, nandoon ka, ano bang depensa natin? Doon ka sa dulo o nandito ka? O, bakit nandun ka sa dulo? Yung service na naman natin yan, no? Every time na magse-service error tayo, kakabitan ng mga 2-3 puntos yung kalaban. Pasok niya lang yung service nyo. Malaking bagay yan eh. Hindi naman biro yan.
Laban pa. Capital!
Good news for all volleyball fans. The PVL, UAAP, and Spikers Turf can now be enjoyed on One Sports via high definition. Catch the games on One Sports HD Channel 17 only on Signal. One Sports HD is available to all active Signal prepaid and postpaid subscribers.
Nice serve.
Jarrell Singh cross court. Valdez with that first ball. They go to Galanza. Rivera with that one-handed dig. Singh will send a chance ball to Creamline. Mafe with the set.
Gemma Galanza going for that sharp cross-court attack. Set up by her sister. But also the coverage on Capital One is heavily needed. You see Coach Roger not too happy with what's happening. His team is doing a good job when it comes to attacking, when it comes to defense, but it's the unforced errors.
Creamline with a 6-point lead. Rivera will set this time to Patty. Mafe will chase that one, and an off-speed hit from Risa Sato.
Mafe going to Risa Sato with this A-quick attack. Beautiful dig also by Atienza, but Risa Sato just swiping it in zone 2. We did talk about Atienza on our pregame earlier. She had 14 digs and 9 receptions against the Cherry Tigo crossover. She was the shining star, I would say, in that match. And also, on the other side of things, Rica Rivera was who we also featured for Capital One.
Creamline here inching towards set point. It's 23-15.
I mean, it also just goes to show that there's a lack of chemistry as well, because there is urgency coming from the side of Capital One, but you can see the difference here between the Creamline Cool Smashers and Capital One, where Creamline has mastered that chemistry already through their experiences, through their losses, through their wins, but Capital One, this is the growing pains that come with being a new team.
Made to serve, 16-23.
Nice serve.
Gemma with that first ball. Mafe will set up MG. Rivera to Niegos, but that was read like a book by the Creamline Cool Smashers.
Stuff block on the side of the Creamline Cool Smashers, blocking Niegos in this sequence. We all know Creamline, they're known for their blocking. Gemma Galanza, Risa Sato. It's important that there's coverage on the side of Capital One.
Niegos blocked again. Capital One will try this time with Jarrell. And that is good for the girls in blue.
We have Jarrell Singh actually coming from the right pin this time, going for that cross court. We all know that she has that heavy hand, and she's doing the heavy lifting here for Capital One.
Singh with 8 points so far. Creamline at set point. Soft touch. Rivera will set. Singh pushes it. Help from the net. Galanza will try this time. Orenda in with that attack.
So the set of Mafe was a little bit too low for Panaga in that sequence. You know, sometimes if the set is a little bit too low, you can go for that tip, you can go for the drop ball. Find ways. You can't always expect a perfect set from your setter.
Capital One will save another set point. Oh, but unfortunately for them, that sails outside and will give Creamline the first set of this match.
We have Tots Carlos being effective in this first set. Combination play, also giving service aces to her opponent. We all know what she can do, very effective on that right pin. Of course, that is also kudos to their setter as well.
Now we'll see if Capital One can bounce back or if the in the first part of this opening set that the game has been neck and neck. Now, Jamie, what did you like about Creamline that really made them get this set?
They're really sticking to the system of Coach Sherwin. Simple plays, not too many combination plays, dig, set, spike, and that is what they're known for. They're also known for a counterattack. They thrive in counterattack, and not too many errors compared to Capital One. You saw the first part of that first set. They were neck and neck, but it was the unforced errors, the misserves, the lack of communication that was on the side of Capital One. As we see the set one stats on your screen, I mean, the disparity of attacks is not even that far. Capital One with 12 and 13 on the side of Creamline, but the blocking department and ace department, that is where Creamline dominated with 3 blocks and 2 aces. And also when you look at the opponent errors of both, it's almost the same. So it comes down to the small details of communication. And also, Yanni, what is not shown on your screens are the timing of the misserves, the timing of the aces, and that sometimes can disrupt the rhythm of your squad.
Speaking of which, both teams will try a different combination of starters here in the second set. Lori Bernardo here on deck for Creamline. Gumaba will get the first point for the Cool Smashers.
That's right, Yanni. We have a different first 6 here on the side of the Creamline Cool Smashers, but Michelle Gumaba going for that cross court on that left pin.
Bernadette Pons with this service. Makatuno will go to Navarro. Ball is still alive. Negrito sends it over. Rivera will set again to Janine. And that is good for Capital One.
Navarro using her smarts, not the strongest of attacks, but you just see how she went for that off-speed attack, touching the hands of Michelle Gumaba. We have also new starters here on the side of Capital One. Navarro starting. We also here with Creamline, we have Pons, we have Vargas as well, and MG starting in the second set.
Negrito will set to MG. Shirley with the coverage. Singh sets up Navarro. Cross court, made away. MG again with a powerful attack. Looks like Des Clemente touched the net in this rally.
Let's see that replay. Her foot actually went on the other side of the net, which is a violation.
Lori Bernardo will serve. They go to Navarro, but that one catches the net, giving another point to Creamline.
You know, Navarro, Yanni, her usual position is actually middle blocker, but now she is fielded in as an open spiker.
And because of that, let's take this opportunity to go ahead and get this report from Kyla Kingsu.
Yanni and Jamie, you guys talked a bit about how Capital One is composed of a good mix of vets and new players in set number 1. And this reminded me of my conversation with Coach Roger earlier, where he told me that he is 100% committed to figuring out kung paano ibabalik yung confidence level ng older players, so they paved the way back to their winning ways, and we're seeing just more and more progress of just that from Captain Jarrell Singh, who started off very strong, leading her ladies in set number 1. Now, she told me that moving on from that grueling 5-set loss, they put their best foot forward this past week because, in her words, sobrang taas ng tingin namin sa Creamline, and all we want today is to give them a good and memorable game. And what a good and exciting matchup this is turning out to be, as both teams give all they've got. Now, this report is brought to you by the Pilipinas Live app, where you can watch the exciting action anytime and anywhere in the world. Now, download and subscribe now. Now, back to Yanni and Jamie.
Thank you, Kyla, for that one. It has been a neck-and-neck match ever since the first set. Navarro powers through. Rivera here with the coverage. Attack from the pipe by Jarrell Singh.
But point does go to Capital One. Clemente with that a quick attack. There was a check ball in that sequence, but let's see that replay. Also a net violation. I think that was the actual call by Negrito.
3-4. Navarro with that service.
Nice set.
Good block here from Capital One.
You have one of the tallest players here in the front row, Clemente. But let's see that replay. Vargas also can capitalize the blocking of May Makatuno, who is not the tallest of setters. Can go down the line.
Vargas with the first ball. They go to MG. Down the line, covered. To Singh. Cross-court attack for Jarrell Singh.
Now this is what Coach Roger likes, seeing that teamwork, the effort, the hard work. Beautiful dig by Navarro, but Jarrell Singh ending it off with that beautiful spike. I mean, tooling the block.
Capital One this time with a 1-point lead.
Nice serve.
Over and two by Cal Negrito. And the girls in blue did not see that coming.
Negrito being smart, being crafty with her decision-making.
That move is brought to you by Honda Motorcycle. Five-point ball game. Vargas with that serve. Reverse set to Des Clemente. Unfortunately for them, that did not cross the net.
That was a good set by May Makatuno.
Some substitutions over on the side of Coach Roger. May will step out. Jel Quizon here. Also her first experience in the Pro League, coming from UE.
She also did not play in their last match against Galleries.
Service ace for Rose Vargas. Creamline will get a 2-point lead, but Coach Roger on the other side will call a challenge.
That was the serve coming from Rose Vargas, touching zone 1.
So if you guys are wondering, both teams have 2 challenges each. We've already reset from the opening set. Now Coach Roger will maintain his 2 challenges as long as this one is successful.
That's right.
Let's have a closer look. Whoa.
Side, touching that corner pocket.
What a service. Coach Roger accepting that challenge, unsuccessful for them. Jel Quizon to Des Clemente. A chase by Creamline. Vargas will send that over. They go to Jarrell this time, blocked. Jel to Jarrell. Coverage. And that cross-court attack will get another point for the Cool Smashers. And that will bring us to our first technical timeout here in the second set. The matchup between the Creamline Cool Smashers and Capital1 Solar Spikers. These two teams coming off of heart-wrenching defeats in their Santa Rosa, Laguna outing.
Nice set.
To Sing. Cross court! And that gel to Jorel Sing connection is the reason why we also went to... and it's a good connection for Capital1.
That's right. We see Jorel Sing being effective on that left pin. She's really adding variation to her attacks, being creative, and I think this is what's fooling the blocking of the Creamline Cool Smashers, because it's very deceiving, her approach, whether it's cross court, down the line. We have yet to see off-speed attacks coming from Jorel Sing.
We saw an attack there by Pons. Block went to the antenna, considered as outside as Risa Sato will serve. Sing again down the line.
You can see the strategy of Jorel Sing, just tooling the block, targeting Kyla Atienza, Negrito rather.
Gel Quezon on deck to serve. Now, a reason why the substitutions and the setters happen is to confuse their opponents. But what are the adjustments that the team needs to do once their starting setter goes out?
Well, I mean, the second setter really needs to step up. This is where the second setter really has to showcase their style and what works with their team. It's not easy always switching the setters, I would have to say, because not every setter has the same style, which can sometimes confuse the attacking. But, I mean, this is where the chemistry really comes into play.
Exactly.
Nice set.
Reverse set. Sing varies it up this time, going for an off-speed hit.
She's actually coming from the right pin of the sequence. Quezon being that smart setter in going for that reverse set, but Jorel Sing going for that drop ball. Nice serve.
Negrito. To Pons.
Too smart. This is where the beach volley tricks come into play. A lot of tricks up her sleeve, but Pons, it's not always about power, Yanni, but I mean, it's all about placement. She knew that there was a hole in that defense of Capital1.
(11 to 8). Bernadette Pons with 4 attack points. Rivera with the first ball. Quezon chooses Navarro. Gumabaw, and Bernardo was there though to block that one.
Solid blocking on the side of the Creamline Cool Smashers. Gumabaw, Bernardo. Let's see that replay. Navarro just touching the hands of MG in that sequence. It's very difficult when you're going up against MG. She's very efficient when it comes to blocking. You have to find some way to avoid her hands or maybe go for a drop ball.
Quezon Duniegos this time activating different members of her team on the court.
The combination play ran by Capital1. Niegos finding that hole in between Bernardo and MG.
(9 to 12). Oh, that one caught the line.
You can hear rather the impact of the ball on the hand of Rose Vargas.
And this spike of the set is brought to you by Duncan, Pasalubong ng Bayan.
Targeting zone 5, that corner pocket, also very difficult to defend.
13 to 9, Bernardo with a service. Quezon reverse. Underhand set. Some miscommunication on the side of the Cool Smashers. Capital1 to Navarro, but that one catches the net.
Also, the set given to Navarro was also too low, but Navarro has to find some way to adjust mid-air, be quick to adjust, but Layog being fielded in. Let's see what she can do for her squad. They are down, and they are really trailing behind because of the unforced errors.
Cool Smashers with his 5-point lead. They activate Layug. Negrito. Moves to Vargas. She'll try again. Singh was there to cover. Capital One pushes it. Pons was there as MG does a cross-court attack.
That wrist action, Michelle Gumaba, we all know that she's the player whenever she's fielded in, whether she's first six or coming off the bench. Very effective, very efficient. One of the best opposite spikers here in the PVL.
Keys on to Desclemente. Too strong for Capital One, giving another point to the Cool Smashers.
See, Kizon actually giving Clemente no block in that sequence, but
I will get to your point in a bit, Jamie, as we head on to our second technical timeout here. We're witnessing the action of the Creamline Cool Smashers against Capital One here in the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Yanni Mayo here along with Jamie La Vittoria and Kyla Kingsu on the sidelines, and we just went to our second technical timeout. Bernardo with that service a while ago. They activate Layug with a cross-court attack.
Layug being that magic bunot here, being fielded in, instant offense, going for that cross-court attack. I mean, this is what we were saying earlier with Capital One. Coach Rogers still trying to find that perfect mix here. Perfect first six.
Exactly. And we saw Desclemente. She bounced back from that too strong attack a while ago. This time landing inside the court of the Cool Smashers. Negos with the service. When that's Risa Sato getting another point on the board.
Risa Sato with that quick attack. You see the connection here with Negrito and Risa Sato. No block was found on the side of Capital One. Nice serve.
A chase from Capital One. Rivera will send that over. Chance here for Cool Smashers. They go to Niegos. MG. Singh was there to cover. Good defense here by both of our squads. Ball is still alive. They send it over. Jelkizon to Jarrell Singh. But that one sails outside, stopping that rally.
Beautiful exchanges between both squads. Great defense as well, but we have Coach Roger call for a timeout.
Matras ka, tapos humingi ka ng bola. Hindi pwedeng nakatayo ka lang doon na, tapos tatalong ka lang ng vertical doon. Ang palo ng backline, kailangan meron kang forward motion, hindi yung vertical lang na ganyan, ha? Huwag niyong palakihin, ha? Huwag niyong palakihin. Laki na nung lamang, eh. Dahan-dahanin ninyo yan, bawas-bawasan natin yan. Ha? Resiban niyo maigi. Nasa likod ka pa. Sige, sige. Humingi ng bola, ha?
Coach Roger calling for a timeout. It's 11-18, and Creamline here has a convincing lead compared to that first set, where Capital 1 was able to make it neck and neck.
Yanni, to think this is the players coming off the bench usually for the Creamline Cool Smashers, but just goes to show that the bench is very deep for the Creamline Cool Smashers.
Quezon sends it over. Creamline here. They go to Vargas. Clemente. Pons with a soft touch. Rivera. Layug, cross court. Vargas again. Layug. Cool Smashers has a chance here. Good coverage. Clemente will send Creamline a chance ball. Pons soft touch inside the donut hole.
Scrappy defense coming from both squads, but Negrito being very strategic in this last sequence, setting up Bernadette Pons for that back row attack, and Pons using her beach volley knowledge, going for that tip in the corner hole. And we have Milka Romero, the team owner of Capital 1, enjoying the volleyball action here.
But Layug gets a page off of Creamline, creating a tip of her own as well to get Capital 1 their 12th point. Substitutions on the side of the Cool Smashers. Galanza, Mafi Galanza will set. Tots Carlos will come in.
Nice serve.
Mafe goes to Tots. Soft touch. Quezon. Attack from the pipe, but that one catches the net.
Little underneath that ball. Layug for that back row attack. But we do see a few substitutions here, but Capital 1 forcing a timeout.
Ensayo pa lang, sinabihan na kita. Ilalaglag yung bola, nandyan ka, tatlo yan. Ilalaglag yung bola. Nakita mong ilalaglag nung backline. Nandito ka lang, hindi ka gumagalaw. Diba sinabihan na kita kahapon pa lang, gumalaw ka kasi ikaw unang makakakita eh. Eh anong ginawa mo? Nandito ka lang, nakatunganga ka lang dyan. Diba? Ang tawag doon, magsipag.
Let's go. Sipag tayo, sipag. Kapital!
One-on-one, heart-to-heart conversations with Mark Pingris and the Gilas legends tackling their life stories on and off the court. Puso to Puso exclusive on the Pilipinas Live app. Download and register now for free. Then Lazaro Revilla enjoying the action over on the bench. Not lined up for today's match. Layug with the first ball. Rivera will set up Singh. Cross court. Des Clemente.
Des Clemente has the height to just tip that ball over, but there needs to be more scoring on the side of Capital 1. They have the attempts, but it's not being converted into attack points, where as Creamline, they are filled with strong attacking, whether it's the left pin or even the right pin.
Clemente will set up Singh. Cross court again. Mafe goes to Tots. Powerful hit of Tots Carlos, just utilizing the hands of Capital 1.
Tots Carlos, a double sub here in the second set. There is a hole in between that block between Salamagos in that sequence.
Pao Soriano will serve 21-13 here in the second set. Quezon chooses Singh. Underhand set to Singh again, and the volleyball IQ, yes. Jarrell Singh.
She had no choice but to touch the hands of Tots Carlos in that sequence. But this is where the high volleyball IQ comes into play, Yanni.
He's on here with 3 excellent sets. Coverage. They go to Tots. Cross court. Catches the line.
See the defensive pattern here of Capital One, almost a little bit confused as to where to go on defense, especially when Tots Carlos is coming from the right pin. Kizo not in the right defensive position.
Negrito will come back in. MG Gumabaw as well. Here in the latter stretch for the Creamline Cool Smashers. 4 excellent sets for Kyle Negrito. Niegos with that first ball, reverse set to Sing! Creamline able to read that like a book.
I mean, for Capital One, they need to be more aggressive when it comes to the scoring department. But Bonds reading that easily, coming from Jarrell Singh. Jarrell Singh looking a little bit frustrated. I mean, she's one of the vet spikers here. She knows what to do.
Rivera will set to Niegos. Gumabaw was there.
It's too tight. Yep.
Ooh.
The second ball coming from Rika Rivera's way too tight. Let's see that location of her second contact, right? Bernadette Bonds being effective at the net. These are the unforced errors committed by Capital One. Nice
Creamline here will get a service ace and will close out the second set. It's 14-25 right now. And of course, the person to highlight, Bernadette Bonds, really rose above here in this set.
That's right, she started in the second set. Whether she's in the front row, back row, she really finds ways to be creative for her offense. And not also, Yanni, not only in the scoring department, but in digging and receiving.
Bernadette Bonds with All-Filipino Conference. It's a Creamline Cool Smashers against Capital1 Solar Spikers, and Creamline dominating in both of our sets. In set 1, 18-25, and set 2, 14-25. Now, this was a more convincing win for the Cool Smashers. Jamie, what were they doing right that they have to continue on coming into the third set?
There's much improvement on the attacking department. Much improvement from their last match against the Cherry Tigo crossovers. Tots Carlos, Gemma Galanza, Vargas as well started that second set, and of course Bernadette Bonds. You see the offense ran smoothly by their setter, but at the same time, Capital One still doing a good job. They're always trailing behind because they're making quite too many unforced errors, and a lot of their attacks are not being converted into points. But let's take a look at the set 2 stats here on your screen. The attacks are not even that far again, same as it went in the first set, with 11 attack points from Capital One and 13 on the side of the Creamline Cool Smashers. But take a look at the errors by Capital One. 9 errors in just that second set alone, meaning you're actually giving 9 points to the Creamline Cool Smashers. So in this third set, let's see if the Capital One Solar Spikers can apply what they've learned in the past 2 sets, because you see Coach Roger fielding in different players, meaning there's no solid first 6, whereas we have the Creamline Cool Smashers, they have the original first 6 from that first set.
Exactly. Now, Capital One here, Layug will be starting, whereas in that previous set, she came in to sub Niegas as well. Bingo will be the libero for the Capital One Solar Spikers as we enter the third set. Negrito with his service to start us off. A chase by Umandal. Bingo will send it to the other side. Combination attack. Tots Carlos took advantage of that one.
This is where the lack of communication is seen on the side of Capital One. Lack of chemistry. I mean, they're giving away points to the Creamline Cool Smashers. Coach Roger not too happy. I remember what he mentioned in his timeouts. You have to earn your points. You can't expect your opponent to make errors.
Chase here by Bingo. Layug will give a chance ball to the Cool Smashers. One-handed set to Tots Carlos.
Wow. I mean, the receive was a little bit too tight for Negrito, but she made away with that beautiful one-hand set, setting up Tots Carlos.
Creamline coming alive early on here in the third set.
Nice serve.
May goes to Layug, blocked. Niegos will set up Layug again. And that is a block point for the Creamline Cool Smashers. We'll take this opportunity to go ahead and get this report from Kyla Kingsu.
Thanks so much for that, Yanni. You know, earlier for all the Creamline players I spoke to in the dugout, they shared the same sentiment na magandang lesson para sa kanila yung loss against Cherry. Pero kailangan nandun yung will and commitment to make up for it with a dominant win here today. Now, we saw action from their captain, Eliza Valdez, earlier in the game. And she told me that after last Saturday, they realized that this is the time and this is the point in the conference where they need to come together, think, and play as one. Moreover, galing sa talo, lalong na-motivate raw silang mag-train at magsikap. And that's clearly translating in their performance so far as they aim to finish this off in our favorite straight set fashion. Now, will they be able to do just that? We'll have to see. Now, this report is brought to you by the Pilipinas Live app, where you can watch exciting PVL action anytime and anywhere in the world. Now, back to you, Yanni and Jamie.
Thanks, Kyla. And we saw Tots Carlos get another point for the Creamline Cool Smashers.
But Yanni, I want to continue on with the report from Kyla. I like the wise words coming from their captain, Eliza Valdez. I mean, this is the first time that Creamline was actually challenged against the Cherry Tigo crossovers, but I think this was probably a wake-up call for them that they can't be complacent in this tournament.
Exactly. Wake-up call here as well for Capital 1 as they call a timeout.
Nangyari, pag hindi tayo naka-receive, wala tayong threat dyan, takbo sa open. Meron ka naman doon eh. Huwag mo iwasan mo muna yung open dito, nakabantay na kaagad yung blocker dito. Meron ka pa naman sa likod eh. Huwag kayong makakalimot, tatlo ang spiker mo. Pag receivean ninyo ng maayos yung bola, nakawin mo yung bola. Nakawin mo yung bola pag sa kanya.
Let's go. Capital! One! Let's go, ha?
Coach Roger this time concentrating on the receive. Capital 1, 0 points. Creamline here with 5 here in the third.
Capital 1 needs to go back to their basics, which is receive, which is digging. I mean, if you do not have receive, you are unable to run your offense smoothly. You are unable to even elevate your plays to combination plays. Nice serve.
A block point here for Gemma Galanza.
I mean, this is pitch-perfect volleyball so far coming from the Creamline Cool Smashers. Gemma Galanza knowing where to press in that block.
El Negrito, though, 6 points. Here in the service line, she's been doing well.
It's the consistency.
Another block point from the Cool Smashers. Attack error, though, from Capital 1. And they'll give a point to Creamline.
Patty Orindain underneath the ball in that sequence. This is the unforced errors that Coach Roger has been mentioning in this entire match.
Cool Smashers will continue with their run. 7-0 to Jarrell Singh. Coverage by Atienza. Tots Carlos down the line attack.
The Creamline Cool Smashers are very effective.
And this spike of the set is brought to you by Duncan, Pasalubong ng Bayan. It's our first technical timeout here in the third set. We'll be back. We're here at the Smart Araneta Coliseum, Arena Plus Astigsa Sports as we witness Creamline Cool Smashers against Capital 1 Solar Spikers. Cal Negrito with the service, 8-0.
Nice serve.
Negotoniegos. Negrito chases that one, and the Capital 1 will stop the bleeding. That is Patty Orendain's 4th point.
The bump set of Negrito was already on the other side, but Patty Orendain using the vet moves and just pushing that ball over. Nice set.
To Carlos. Gets it off of the hands of the blockers. Now Tots Carlos here, the leading spiker for the Creamline Cool Smashers.
See much improvement coming from immediate side out, I would say. When I watched that game against the Cherry Tico Crossovers, they had a difficult time getting that side out right away, but you see much improvement coming from Tots Carlos, Eliza Valdez, and also Pangs Panaga.
Gemma Galanza with a service ace, the first one for her in this ball game. And a little help from the net. Ooh, powers through that double block. Patty Orendain.
Patty Orendain, we all know that she is known for her beach volley skills. Just tooling the hands of Tots Carlos in that sequence. We need more production from Patty Orendain, Jarrell Singh.
Exactly. You mentioned, now Jarrell Singh is the only player in double digits over on the side of Capital One. She has 13 so far.
We just witnessed a missed serve coming from the side of Capital One. They had that earned point, but it's followed by an unforced error, just disrupting the rhythm of their squad.
Valdez making her name known here in the third set.
Valdez going for that cross-court attack. I mean, they have such a big cushion here in this third set. Already a 10-point
lead.
That's right.
Oh, Panaga with a service ace though.
Niegos called it out, but unfortunately it did touch her foot in that sequence. But there's a double substitution here for the side of Capital One. Estrella is back in. She did start in the first set.
First ball by Rovi. They go to Patty Orendain. And they need more production from different sides of the court. Jarrell Singh can do all that she can.
Yes.
But Creamline will read that eventually.
That's right. Jarrell Singh can only do so much. That's why she does need help from Patty. She needs help from her middle blockers. I mean, this is the time when you should be playing your best. This is the third set. And you see Creamline, a shift of body language, I would say. They're very happy. They're smiling more. But Capital One, this is where you really have to dig deep and really communicate with your team when it comes to chemistry.
And that's something Coach Roger emphasized in the timeout as well. 14-13. They choose Singh down the line.
Now Jarrell Singh is in the front row, rallying up her squad, going for that down the line.
Gumabaw and Mafe Galanza come back in. Tots Carlos and Negrito go outside. Ball is still alive here. Rovi sends it over. Mafe goes to Gumabaw.
Michelle Gumabaw coming from the left pin in this rotation. Very effective. Not choosy with the sets, just targeting that block of Capital One. Nice serve.
Ooh. May Makatuno tried to create something out of that first ball, but Eliza Valdez will bring us to our second technical timeout.
here with the best player of the game, who is none other than Tots Carlos of the Creamline Cool Smashers with 14 points, 12 attacks, 1 block, and 1 service ace. And of course, at 60% attack efficiency at that. A big congratulations to you and your team for that strong bounce back win. Now, as you all know, Tots, you came from a big and tough loss against Cherry last Saturday. And sabi mo nga kanina, you were disappointed with that game. Can you share with everyone ano yung naging impact ng game na yun to your team and how you were able to bring back your performance today?
We really went back to the basics, especially sa training. And during that game, we weren't able to execute properly. So we went to level 1 from our unforced errors and our communication. So yun yung tinraining namin the past days.
Now let's talk about the Capital1 Solar Spikers. Now earlier I talked to them in their dugout and they told me that their goal today is to give you guys a good game. And we certainly saw very exciting rallies, especially sa last set. So anong masasabi mo on the young but competitive team like theirs?
It was a really nice game and I'm really happy na dumadagdag yung mga teams natin ngayon sa PVL and they really gave us a good game and masaya kami na nakakalaro namin yung mga ganitong opportunity.
Is there anyone you want to greet? Go ahead.
Sa lahat po ng nanonood dito sa arena, hello po. Maraming salamat po sa pagsuporta sa PVL, sa Creamline, sa lahat ng teams na naglalaro. Hello sa family ko, hello po sa mga boss namin. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng suporta. Happy birthday, Nix!
There you have it. That was Tots Carlos, our best player of the game.
Sorry, habol ko. Happy birthday, Tita Lu!
Okay, congratulations once again, Tots, and of course to the Creamline Cool Smashers. We'll be back after this short break.
Victory for them against the Cherry Tigo crossovers, 18-25, 14-25, 15-25. They went up against Cherry in that last game, now able to win against Capital1 Solar Spikers. Now as we check out the highlights of the match, now Jamie, Creamline Cool Smashers getting their groove in this match, creating a 3-set fashion win. What did you like about it?
Well, Tots Carlos said it perfectly in her interview. They went back to basics, dig, set, spike, and they did limit their unforced errors because Creamline is a team that is known for having quite too many unforced errors. Now, on the side of Capital1, they got to go back to the drawing board. They do need to work on their first ball, which goes to show that Creamline did well in serving tough. I mean, Tots also did mention that this is also another opportunity to get better whether you're playing a team in the high ranks or the low ranks. It's all about learning for the Creamline Cool Smashers.
And the learning is something that they'll take on now. As you mentioned also at the top, of the pregame that here in the PVL, we can't really predict anymore which is the dominant team. And that's something that we're witnessing as the All-Filipino Conference moves forward. And we're also seeing different players on the court shine. Both teams having fielded in their entire lineup in this match. As we check out the stats, what is the story here for you, Jamie?
Well, you have the attacks here, 30 attack points on the side of Capital One and 35 on the side of the Creamline Cool Smashers. The disparity, the gap is not even that far, but take a look at the blocks here for the Creamline Cool Smashers. 8 blocks, 4 more than the Capital One. But take a look also at the aces here. We did mention that Creamline did superb in terms of the serving department. They did minimize their errors, only 13 in 3 sets, but also take a look at that 24 from the side of Capital One.
Comparing their errors in their last match, which was 22. But of course, this volleyball action will continue. Up next, we have the Petrogas Angels going up against the Cherry Tigo Crossovers. A big happy birthday as well to Aya Laura. It's her 25th birthday here now. On behalf of Jamie La Victoria, Kyla Kingsu, Direk Ken Natividad, this is Yani Mayo. More volleyball action coming your way here in the PVL, the heart of volleyball.